Boop, boop. Another day, another dollar. Thank the Lord for another 24. God, I knew that was you, man. Getting right into the video. We talking more about working inside of a prison. You know, I'm going to give you the best tool, your best friend, man. It'll save you and get you out of a lot of trouble, man. It'll help you to de-escalate a lot of situations, man. A lot of people think working inside of a prison, you got to be macho, got to have must, be strong, you know, be a savage, man. You know, the best tool when you're working inside of a prison is not a gun. For one, we don't carry guns inside of a prison. It's not a baton. It's not any of your equipment, your pepper spray, your handcuffs, none of that, man. The best tool when dealing with inmates inside of a prison is your mouthpiece. And when I say your mouthpiece, I mean your communication skills. How can you convey to the inmate what you want them to do? You know, when it's a situation, when stuff go, the inmate mad because they ain't get their commissary. Or they mad about because they time got pushed back for when they supposed to get out, man. Now they finna go on a rampage, you know. It's not like I said, the baton, the handcuffs, the pepper spray, none of that, man. It's your mouthpiece. You know, how you communicate to the inmates, man, what you say, the words that you choose to say, you know, it'll save you in a lot of situations. You know, it'll de-escalate a lot of situations. You know, that's one of the main goals when you're working inside of a prison. You know, when you're dealing with inmates, man, when they go from 0 to 100, man, if you could de-escalate the situation and talk these inmates down, man, you can save yourself a lot of trouble. You know, you could save yourself, your fellow co-workers from potentially getting assaulted, getting injured. You know, on the job now, you got to miss work. You got to be out of work. You know, who wants to miss work, man? I know me personally, I'm not trying to miss no work. I hear a lot of my coworkers sometimes saying, oh, I'm going to do a slip and fall so I can get 45 days on the street. You know, it ain't worth it in the long run. You know, you missing work. You know, people like me that like to work overtime. Now you just getting a base salary for them days you miss work. You know, so I like to use my mouthpiece when I'm in there, man. If it's a situation going on in my unit, I got an inmate, you know, that's on stand. He's on high alert, man. Now he done went from 0 to 100. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to talk him back down. You know what I'm saying? You know, asking him questions. You know, what's the problem? What's going on? You know, why did it get to this? You know, what can we do to get you back down, you know, so we can safely run this institution? You know, that's the stuff that's going through my mind. You know, it's been plenty situations where I've been able to talk an inmate down. You know, a fight about to break out. You know, an inmate in the lockup, man, being disruptive. You know, sometimes you gotta talk to these dudes and you gotta see what's going on. Sometimes too, when you sit there and you actually talk and you try to do everything you can before you gotta use some kind of force, show of force, or you gotta put hands on them, you gotta call for assistance, stuff like that. When you sit there and you talk to these inmates, you know, you really get to the root of the problem. A lot of times you're able to help them, you know. You find out what the problem is, what's the issue, you know. Okay, boom. Your commissary messed up. Okay, let me see if I can make a phone call. Let me see what I can do. Let me reach out to my coworkers in other departments. You know, let me make this phone call, man. I'm not making no guarantees to you, sir. But, you know, I'll see what I can do, you know, and a lot of times they'll respect you for that, man. And then you got to be a person of your word now. Don't just say you're going to do something and don't do it, man, because they're going to remember that. They counting on you. You know, the inmates, they keep tabs and whatnot. They keep tabs on everything you say, man. So if you know you can't fulfill a promise or something you said, for one, we not making no promises, you know. If you say something and you know you can't do it, man, just tell them what it is. I can't do that. It's a no. You know, the best thing I tell people, you know, coming into the job, if you on the job, just starting, you know, I tell the inmates this. I'm like this to them. I'm like, you know, I can't make no guarantees, you know, whatever it is you want or trying to get done. I can't make no guarantees, you know, but I will see what I can do, you know. If it involves me making a phone call down to the commissary department, you know, calling their case manager or counselor, I will at least try to make that phone call, initiate contact, you know, and help them out to the best of my abilities, you know. And then you have those instances where words, reasoning, communication, all that type of stuff is out the door. This inmate, man, they took it all the way up there, man. Now they done came violent. They got a knife or something crazy. In those situations, man, you can't reason with an inmate, you know. Sometimes you might have inmates that are high out their mind on drugs, you know, K2, drinking homemade alcohol, mental health inmates, man. Those mental health inmates are, man, they a special breed, I tell you. Because when an inmate, especially when they mental health, they stop taking their meds, you know, they start tripping out, man. Stuff gets from 0 to 100 fast. I done seen it plenty times, man, working the mental health units, man. These inmates, man, they don't take their meds or something just throws them off in their head, man. A lot of times they be delusional. They might be schizophrenic. You know, they hearing voices, stuff like that, man. And the wrong voice pop up in their head. They become destructive, man. They breaking stuff, destroying government property, man, trying to bust out the cell window. You know, situations like that, you know, you gotta move beyond trying to reason with them, trying to use verbal commands, trying to talk them down. Now you gotta escalate. You gotta move up and sync with them, you know, with their level. You know, if that might involve, you know, getting on your walkie-talkie, saying, staff needs assistance on this unit. We got an inmate, you know, he's being disruptive on the unit, you know. And then it may evolve beyond that. Now you may have to actually put hands on the inmate. You know, let's say now he coming at you. He coming at you in a threatening manner. What you gonna do? You gonna stand there like a duck? No, I know me. I'm not gonna stand there. I'm not finna let no inmate willingly put hands on me, assault me, attack me, nothing, man. I'm gonna either put hands back on them. I'm gonna try to grab my pepper spray, mace them. I'm going to use whatever I can. You know, if he got a chair, I'm going to try to grab me a chair. Because at the end of the day, you know, your main goal working in the prison is to try to come in there and to try to go home the way you came, you know. We don't want nobody getting hurt, nobody being injured on the job. You know, that's the main goal. You, your coworkers, y'all go home. You know, you there to protect the other inmates from being assaulted, you know. So those type of situations, words, you know, they may not be able to help. You know, you may have to escalate, you know, and actually go to physically restraining the inmate, you know, if it's a fight going on, stuff like that, you know. But in a lot of situations, you know, you can actually try to talk down the inmates, you know. And in situations, too, I think on these in the past, you know, your coworkers, man, they can help or they can hurt the situation. You know, I've been around coworkers, you know, they got a propensity, you know, to try to be like a cowboy, to try to be a tough guy. You know, they doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, you know. Like, I try to let people be them, you know. If that's not my unit, you know, cool, man. You can run your unit how you want to run your unit. But when you working together with another officer, man, you know, you making the shift difficult, you know, by getting the inmates riled up, you know, you slamming doors, calling the inmates out their name, you know, trying to do like a show of force, trying to be a cowboy. That makes your coworker's job even harder, you know, because now it's like your coworker got to come in behind you and try to clean up the mess you done started, you know. So to the people that act like that, man, coworkers, man, you gotta try to change, man. You gotta try to change your ways, you know. And who am I to try to change somebody? But I'm just saying, though, you know, when I sit back and I observe, I've been in situations like that, man, when I work with a coworker, you know, they coming through, banging on the doors unnecessarily, you know, shouting at, cussing the inmates out, stuff like that, man. They're not being respectful. You know, prison, the main thing working in the prison is all about respect. You know, that's the number one thing. Respect will take you a long way in your career, you know. So why you want to make your coworker's job harder, man, you know? Why even do that? Why even put your coworker in a position, you know, where they got to come in behind you, clean up something you started? You know what I'm saying? No, it's about respect, man. Respect them, they'll respect you, you know. And if it goes beyond that, you know, we deal with it accordingly. That's how it's supposed to go. I don't care what nobody says, man. You're supposed to deal accordingly, man. Respect takes you a long way, you know. How you communicate, how you talk to these inmates, you know. If you could talk down the situation, talk down the situation. It ain't about being tough. It ain't about, trying to do a show of force, letting the inmates know who's in charge. Most inmates know at the end of the day, man, what they got coming. They know if they get out of line, we're going to put them back in their place. Stuff like that, you don't always have to prove a point, try to be a tough guy, man. That's not the place for that, You want to be a tough guy, you go join wrestling or something, man. Join the WWF or go do street boxing. I don't know, man, but that's not the place to try to prove you're tough, try to get the inmates riled up, this and that, cussing the inmates out. Because you're going to find a lot of times, man, it might not always happen, but you run across the right inmate on the wrong day, man. You in for a rude awakening, man. They put hands on you, dap you up, man, two-piece you to the face. Then the situation went from 0 to 100, like I was just saying. So I always try to de-escalate situations, man, to the best of my ability. Talk these inmates down, communicate with them, see what the problem is, try to be professional and use my words, because your words, your mouthpiece, it'll get you a longer way in your career, man, than being physical, trying to be a tough guy, trying to show a show of force, baby. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got merchandise for sale. Shop with your boy, www.theghettobodybuilder.com. I got all kind of hoodies, t-shirts, man, all kind of stuff for sale, man. Shop with your boy, But those two things I mentioned, de-escalation skills and communication skills, using your mouth, man, they will take you a long way in your career, man. It'll save you. It'll keep you out of a lot of hairy situations. Stuff go from 0 to 100. If you got good communication skills, you might be able to likely talk that inmate back down, to where they're reasonable. They're back to being an orderly inmate. You know what I'm saying? And you could safely run that institution, run your unit to the best of your abilities, baby. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.